welcome to our podcast.
Thank you.
As you know, we developed with Bligson an achievement recognition app and bot.
Mm-hmm.
And the reason we did it is because we like to emphasize that happiness can be seen as the result of a continuous flow of recognized achievements. You do something, and based on the results, you can feel either better or less. But the most important thing is that we recognize it and can share it even with other people.
Of course.
That's why we developed Bligson. With this podcast and our talk, but also with the usage of our app, we would like to do a few things. We'd like to first highlight your past achievements. So, what did you do and how did you get here where we are today? That's one. Roadblocks. There might be something that, was like hindering you in your progress in the past, something that, it stopped you. And by recognizing those in the past, we can also sort of avoid them in the future, or if they appear again, know how to handle them better. So that's the second thing. So highlight your past achievements, roadblocks. Then the third element we'd like to see after our talks is there like a path to guide to your full potential? Because, if you feel that some achievements can be highlighted, can grow, then that can be seen as full potential. And then the question is, okay, how can we get there? So basically we're preparing for success at the next level. That's basically the whole idea of today.
Good.
Okay?
Good plan.
Yeah. So actually the first thing we'd like to do is, we had the pleasure to meet. We had the pleasure to even play some Yahtzee, and I saw your dedication to win, right? With the game, with the dices. So tell us a little bit about yourself, where you come from, and
Okay, I'm 39 years old, almost 40. I'm from Ukraine, originally from Lugansk. It's the eastern part of Ukraine that's under occupation from like 8 years. And
from the beginning already, from 2014.
Yes, but I moved to Kyiv like 2010 or 9.
Before that.
Before that. So I lived in Kyiv like almost 12 years.
Right. Yeah.
What's about my work experience and about thing that I like to do and earn some money for it? I'm business trainer, and I produce and develop and produce trainings. And before I made it in different countries, like Ukraine, Russia, before this war started, and before 2014 also in Russia, in Kazakhstan and Poland. So I traveled a lot. Sometimes I just changed my flights and from Vladivostok to Prague in one day. So that was a lot. Also, me and my wife, we are developing some business games for kids, for teenagers, and for adults. Also for the CEOs, for managers of the companies. So
but what do you mean with business games for kids? How can I see that?
Because I worked maybe 4 years in a private business school, and from 6 years old, we get these kids to learn them how to make the business. So, and a business game is one of the part of this education.
Yeah. And
also we produced some business games and made this in Kyiv with some entrepreneurs, with the companies also. And also big part of my life, it's sports. It's a floorball. I started to play it 2008. I played in the highest league in Ukraine, and then I became a referee after I retired as a player. And in 7 years, and I'm really proud about this achievement also. In 7 years, from the beginner, I came to the referee who ran the final of the World Championship with my partner. So this is also a big part of my life.
Right. So why did you choose flyball from all the sports in the world?
I really like football, and I played from the childhood. And in Ukraine, it's like it's wow, football. You should play football when you're like boxing or football in Ukraine. No dances.
Okay.
When we were just growing up in the 90s in Ukraine, of course, I really like to play football, and all my dreams were about the football, to become a professional football player.
Right. Yeah.
But I grew up in a small town. Of course, I remember these times when I really asked my parents, please give me this 20 hryvnias to pay for this course, to these trainings, because you should pay for these trainings, and I can go to these football trainings.
Right.
For me, it was all my life. And then I played since I studied in a university, and then I recognized, maybe football is good, but you can choose something better for your life. And of course, if about the age, when you're like 17, 18, maybe it's time to start new goals for your life. And then, for me, maybe football was like a feeling that I'm in sports. Right. And then when football ends in my life, I just what I should do when I can be still in sports. I just met some guys who develop floorball in Ukraine. I visited Sweden a few times, and I saw that it's a really big sport there. And I can be part of this kind of sport, and I just start to train the kids, and create a club with my friends in Kiev. And then also referee work, and also we just built our federation. I was a part of federation
in Ukraine.
In Ukraine, I was a part of board member of the federation. I was responsible for the finances. So we built this finance system and a club system from the bottom. Yes, and then
is that also your university? What you studied? In this
no, I'm a psychologist.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah.
But
which is beneficial for training.
Of course.
Yeah. So, how many players to give us a bit of an impression on how big is this floorball?
In Ukraine.
Well, in Ukraine and the world, because now we're international.
If you compare Sweden and Ukraine, it's it's a giant and the ant.
Right.
Yeah.
But how many people in Sweden, for example, play this game?
Officially, it's 300,000, maybe officially. Wow. It's a big sport.
That's huge.
Yes, but unofficially, even in the it's gender houses, when it's people are old people. Yeah, they play floorball. Or even in a kindergarten they play floorball.
So it's suitable for any age.
It's suitable social kind of sport. So it's perfect. And in Ukraine, of course, we start with the licenses, so we can count how many people played. In the start it was 300 people, but now I know about the number of clubs. We have almost 50 clubs in Ukraine. Each club, some big clubs and small clubs. Right. But if you will count, maybe 10,000 people play.
Yeah. Okay.
But it's rising. Even our president.
But your work. Okay.
Zelensky played floorball last year.
Yeah, I once had the honor to meet him and discuss a bit. But your focus now is more international. Right?
Yes.
So you still keep talking about Ukraine, but in fact you're working internationally more and more. Is that correct?
Of course, because due to war we moved to Prague with my family, and that was a bad reason to move. But also I got some benefits from this moving, because now you're in European Union, the borders are open, you can travel a lot. And now I'm focused a lot on floorball, especially in my referee work. Yeah. So I travel a lot to Sweden to ref some games, regular season games, some tournaments that they have a lot. Also, I got the license as a referee in Czech Republic. So I have a partner, also Czech guy. He's
so you got an official license from the international organization?
No, from the Czech Floorball Federation, and also I'm an international referee. From the International Floorball Federation since 2017. Okay. And so, I still have goals, and 7 years ago when I just started to ref, my goal was go to Olympic Games. But floorball is still not Olympic.
No.
But this goal is still alive because, but maybe it's a little bit changed. And one step is done. It's a World Championship final.
Okay.
So maybe the next one it will be like men's World Championship final in a few years, because we are still young with my partner, so we are still able physically and mentally be ready to do it.
So you do it together with somebody.
Of course, it's a pair of referees.
It's a pair. There are two together who get it
like equal referees on the field.
Yeah, right.
Not like head of referees, or not equal.
It's a bit like basketball. Should I see it this way?
Yes, it's like two guys, even three guys there. I think. Okay. But like in football, it's one head referee, then it's linesman. But in floorball, it's two equal referees.
Yeah, and men versus women. How is that divided? What percentage of players are men versus women?
Of course, it's divided. This women's championship and the men's championship. But we have a license in the International Federation, so we can ref women's games and men's games.
Right, but how many players if you compare it to the size?
It's also depends on the country, but I think in the international level it's really rising, the women's part of floorball. So it's really popular, especially in the Scandinavian countries. So
no difference there?
Not so much, no. So they have like a highest league when it's like 12 teams in the men's division, 12 teams in the women's division, the lower divisions, a lot of lower divisions they have. So it's the same number of teams.
I hear you very enthusiastic about floorball, a little bit less about the training. Is that correct? Or how do you feel it yourself?
No.
When I hear you talking.
Yeah, that also trainings was a big part of my life, and I still have some dreams and maybe goals in the close future to start to develop it again, but in Czech Republic or maybe in Europe. And but I want to focus in the business games because I see that it can be really useful for the people, because everyone loves to play. And if during the game you can know something, like find something new for you, some decisions, or even met some people that has the same problem that you are. Perfect.
It's physically, it's networking, it's opening up.
Yes.
Yeah. But how do you compare the two? Because I feel there are like two lines, right? It's the business games and it's the floorball.
Yeah.
How is it for money? I mean, because you're a professional referee. In the sense
I'm a professional referee.
Is it more payment than just the cost covering, or is there real,
It's like a salary. It's salary for the game.
Right, but only during the game.
Yeah, for the game.
Not like you're hired for a whole season.
No. Of course, it depends on how many games you ref and what level of games you ref.
Right.
Because like if you ref some like low division in Czech Republic, of course it's like almost nothing.
No.
But if you go to Sweden and ref some games from the lower division,
right,
it's like 3 times more than in Czech Republic. Of course, it's more interesting to go to Sweden,
sure,
but also the level of the games they're like pretty different. But of course, in some tournament they can cover your travel costs and accommodation, other things, and of course you have some referee fee for the games. But now it's enough for our family, so I feel it's not even we can travel a little bit, and like to plan some.
But can you build on it? You feel like now? What is? How do you see it? Is it like covering the ongoing cost, or is it already like we're saving something for a next step? How do you feel this?
If I will spend more time with it, I feel if I will give more time for it, so I feel that it like can be expanded.
Right.
So that's not like a top that they can do, and can earn there.
Right.
Yeah. So
how do you compare the competition? Because you're not the only referee, I assume, right? Internationally. So is it a well sought job, or how do you see the competition in this field?
You mean the competition?
Well, other referees, right?
It's.
If they hire them, they don't hire you.
Of course, it's we are a lot of us. We are friends and colleagues, but of course we are competitors. because only like top 6 players goes to the world championship, or top 5 goes to the championship, and you should be in good shape every time,
Good shape, they should call you.
Yeah, because like last time when we got this world championship final, we had really good colleagues, right? But the reason was that we were in final, we made a good job. Made a good job first, but also if your nation plays in the final, you can't have the game.
Right.
So Czech guys, who is like one of the best in the world now.
The referees from Czech can't play.
Yeah, they can't play because the Czech team wasn't.
Right.
So, but also
there is competition.
Yeah.
How fierce is it? How is it like? Do you feel that like you're waiting by the phone? Will they call me or should they call the other one?
I really like that a lot of things you can make influence on.
Sure.
It's great in this kind of job, because if you want to go to some tournament, of course you should to do something, not just sit and wait. Please call me. You can write a letter, but of course I will not tell about International Floorball Federation. They nominate. They have a list. Yeah. They have an observation. Right. They have some points, and then they nominate. But if you like some commercial tournament, you just write a letter, make communication with the organizers, and then you can come. And then now I have a really big list of tournaments and the people that I know in these tournaments. So they year by year just waiting for us, inviting us, and you can plan all your year with this. Okay. So you can plan all your travels. You can plan.
How many of these games? We still talk numbers.
It's better to say not about the games, but about the tournaments, because in 2-3 days during the tournament.
That's it, and then
you can have like 20 games in the 3 days.
Okay.
So how many? If you will ask me about the tournaments, how many tournaments it can be? It can be 2 times a month. So
2 times a month.
Like 20
Europe or worldwide?
Mostly in Europe.
Mostly in
Europe.
It's played in the United States or not?
It's played now. It starts to develop now better. They start this national league now. Right. They saw this experience from the NHL, NBA, and they start floorball. But it's of course it's a big way to go up. And if it counts like a number of tournaments, it can be 20 plus tournaments per year. Okay. So it's great for me.
How about sponsorships? What can you say of that? Are there
the sponsorship for the referees or in the floorball?
Anyway, I mean, are sponsors interested in this game?
Of course interested, because we have a few brands, like worldwide brands, who they produce all the floorball stuff, sticks, equipment, other equipment.
So they are obvious choice as sponsor.
Yes, most of them are like from Finland, Sweden, Czech Republic, Switzerland. It's the top 4 countries in floorball: Switzerland, Czech Republic, Finland, and Sweden. And also these rings, because we need rings to play. Also the floor, like Teleflex floor, if you want to play some professional games. So so we have own.
There is money involved. That's what the point is.
Yes.
And what about the general sponsorship? I mean,
It also depends on the country. Especially like in Sweden, they have a lot of sponsors. Okay. Like a national team, and even clubs have a lot of sponsors. But I really like the system that they have not only have like one big sponsor who gave a lot of money, but they have a lot of small sponsors around the club. Maybe it's parents join them. Maybe some parents work for these companies.
Okay.
So they just collect money from all the sponsorship. And also, I have this case from my friends. He's one of the head manager of one club in Sweden. And before the season, they have a T-shirt that the players will play, and they sell all the parts of the T-shirt that the potential sponsors can buy. So it can be 15 different sponsors on the T-shirt.
And there's enough viewers for the shirts. I mean, are not enough people seeing the shirts that it's worthwhile for a sponsor?
Yeah, it's great. So
can you give me some numbers?
Numbers
of how many views T-shirt can get?
I don't know about that, but I know that the prices that he told me about, if you want to buy this part, you can pay 50,000 Swedish crowns per season.
No, that's in dollars or euros?
No, Swedish crowns.
And how much is that?
It's like 5,000 euro you can pay for a club, but then you will be placed here.
So it's not yet the big money, right?
Not so big,
No.
but of course clubs try to earn some money, organizing the tournaments, about working with spectators, with the fans, selling the tickets, but this kind of sports is still going.
So I understand your beginning. You had this. You had your psychology education. You had you got the gaming thing. The gaming development, business games, and at the same time you developed from football into floorball, and you sort of, I would almost say, own this world in the sense that you live it from beginning to end. Right? That's correct. The numbers are nice, but not great. If you look at financial potential, how do you view that? How do you feel with that? Is it? Tell me.
If I will talk about floorball, I don't see that it can be like the biggest part of my life. It's a big hobby, but it's good that hobby can give you some money.
Right.
Yeah, because it's great when you have this exchange, when you make this job really nice.
Sure.
When you enjoying it.
Right.
Of course, it's great when you get something back. Yeah. But of course, I just feel that it's time to go back maybe for my focuses that I had before.
Which was?
That was a business games.
Business games.
Yes, because I was really good in these trainings and in business games that we are producing. So I really like to start again. Maybe.
What is your main driving force?
About that?
Well,
or just
when we talk about this career and developing these things, what keeps you going? I see you're a great passion of sport. You like to win, as we saw with the dices, right?
Of course.
So you're focused on winning. You're focused on achieving also physically. You're an athlete, but what drives you further than that? What would you call as your main?
Maybe force? I also it's a great question. Yeah, maybe it takes more time for me to
We'll have time.
Yeah, we have time, but one of these is doesn't matter what I can do, I should to do it in a really great way and that it should be something useful for other people. So something useful
to make a difference.
To make something useful.
Useful.
Yeah.
So useful is your word.
Maybe.
Competitive,
useful. Yeah, that's my words. And also, when I try to do something, I really try. Maybe it's getting crazy. I'm getting crazy, but I really want to do it in the best way. It's perfect.
Perfectionist.
Perfectionism, maybe, yes.
Okay.
Because especially when you are really long times in one direction, you have you can see a lot of small things that you can just take it off or improve or make it better.
Right.
So in the sports like this, in the business games like this, in the trainings like this.
What stops you from being perfect?
Good question. Mm-hmm. Good question. I don't know.
What are the roadblocks? What you?
I can't say that I stopped to be perfect or try to be perfect. You can be perfect. Or you always try to do it in a perfect way. But I think I still try to do it in floorball, so in my sports direction. But I stopped to do it in a business.
Right. That's what I feel. And I feel a lot of passion for this floorball. You first were a very good player. Apparently, maybe you didn't tell me, but maybe it was age or whatever. You come to an age, you say,
I played, but I was a normal player, not the best.
Okay. Yeah. So, and then you moved into referee. was referee second best? Would have you been preferred to be even better in floorball and do it later?
Yes.
Yeah?
Yeah.
That's so I see a lot of passion there. I don't feel a lot of passion yet in the gaming, right? But so I'm wondering, besides the fact that you got so much passion into gaming, what stopped you to be also competitive in this other area?
Good question. I thought about it, and if I just remind all my experience that I made in different ways, the reason why when I start something or stop something, that was the partnership. So I need a partner.
You don't want to do it alone.
I can't do it.
No.
So I need a partner. For me, it's partner. It's really, really, really important.
Right. Yeah.
So maybe my first step, if I want to reset my business career as a guy who make these business games and other, to find the person who can also will be really involved in it. Who can also give me some energy for it. So, or maybe together we can do it better.
If that was the main roadblock, the partnership, suppose you can say, listen, the main roadblock to develop this gaming exercise or this gaming profession, it was a profession. Gaming profession was lack of a good partner who I can sync with and grow with. Why didn't you take more time in finding a new one? Because you moved into floorball more and more. And you didn't. Did you give up? Or what happened?
It's a really suitable position. I just thinking about it. Of course, it's really suitable when you just I have a good results here, so I will focus here and doesn't care about that. So I have earn some money here, do it and I feel that I'm useful and feel that I'm good. I try to be perfect there. But you're right.
Because you said 2-3 times.
This small rock in my shoe was that I lost my partnership.
Right. Yeah. And you didn't want to look back. You didn't want to revisit it. But when I hear you talking, you're still thinking, well, floorball as a commercial world is not big enough to sustain long time. Yeah, I mean,
and my referee career,
and it will stop one day when they walk twice as fast as you. Then there will be more.
Of course, for sure.
So that's interesting, because you stopped this business game section because of the partnership. You closed that chapter more or less, but it's still in the back of your mind. Otherwise, you just have mentioned it.
Hide it.
You've been hiding it. Right.
It's somewhere here, but I just. But I feel that I have a possibility to just take it again.
Right. Because what matters? What's next? You have got this basis and that basis, and what is going now? Is there a way to combine those two worlds? Because in my, I'm an amateur in sport. I'm not even an amateur. I'm worse than that. But for me, floorball is also floorball is also a game, right?
It's all about the games.
So, and you even told me in the beginning of our conversation here that even seniors can play it, right? You can play it apparently on any level. So, businesses, employees can play it as part of, part of some kind of meeting together, off-site, whatever. Seniors can play it. So I'm wondering, did you ever think about the big picture? Why you want to do this? What is your reason? You say, purpose is important. It's your word. So I'm wondering that if you take these ingredients, the gaming, the floorball, the fact that it can be played on any level, it is a healthy sport. Right? Are there specific injuries or situations where you say we have to be really careful?
But of course it happens, but it happens when it's really, really intense and really when men's plays.
But you can play it quite safely. That's what I understood. Right?
Yes. That's why a lot of kids are playing it.
So I'm wondering, is there a way how you can develop over the coming months your thoughts in such a way that you say, we take the current ingredients about the gaming, we take the ingredients about the floorball, we look at the world today, the big picture we are in, exercise is crucial for people to live. Social interaction becomes, a bigger picture even. People are lonely, they are searching for moments to interact in a good way. I mean, the ingredients are there. Isn't it possible in this world to find some kind of road when you say, listen, this is my new niche which can sustain not only when I'm 39, but also when I'm 40, 50, 60, where I feel that there's like this dream I can go for.
Yeah, it can be. It can be.
So then if that's the question, and if you feel, I can imagine myself bringing things together. So the gaming, the sports, the floorball sports, my huge track record there, nobody will dispute it. It's amazing. Then knowing you're from your psychology background, that you're talking about people.
Yeah.
Because I think in floorball you're more talking about athletes, sports, but your background in psychology means that you understand the driving force of people and what they're doing. So you have 3 beautiful ingredients to make a difference, right? So, and I can imagine that if you go into that position, and suddenly you're not just a provider of sport, you're a provider of a change of lifestyle, if you will, of certain groups of people who find some satisfaction in this, right? Games, movement, exercise. What you have not.
And also you can mix the direction, mix different kinds of this. It's like
a
bouillon.
Well, it's too soon to immediately say, this is the solution.
But it's great to think about it.
To think about it, and I would say that success in general is all about owning a niche. There is something where you say, listen, this is my niche. And I can imagine that even, a lot of people who used to play floorball when they were younger, they also get like 40 or whatever, there comes also a point that their focus is more on health than on sports. If you've been sick for a while, whatever, there's reintegration, there are all kind of things coming into play. So that's another element I want to throw in this bouillon, right? But the point is that the bouillon shouldn't become grey with too much steering, because you need this differentiation so that people can say in one sentence, right, this is it. And you've heard about the elevator test, where you have your business proposition and you step into the elevator with somebody. Before the elevator reaches the top floor, you not only should have been able to convince the person what you're doing, but in such a way that person can say it to the next one when they come out of the elevator. The first one most people can do if they put an effort on it, right? Okay, I got like 20 seconds to say what I'm doing. But now say it in a way that this person can take it along, right?
Yeah.
So when you talk about these ingredients, it's tempting to find something, It's like, okay, I've got some blocks, I've got some Lego, and I build something, and now it doesn't work. It doesn't work. To make it simple, this proposition, and still compelling, takes effort. It takes time.
Yes.
But if you found it, it can be hugely rewarding. And you know what? During that process, you will find a partner. Because it's the elevator test. Not only works for potential clients or for potential financiers, potential sponsors, but for partners as well.
For sure.
Because they need to feel the same, force, which sort of...
to be inspired about it, for sure. Yeah.
So I suppose that like maybe even summarizing this process, why does it matter is so important, that the purpose, you call it a purpose, I say why it matters, and together they bring like this reason which drives you in the same way it can drive you to win a game, I think. A game of Yahtzee you win because there's something. That force is exactly the same force is when you decide why it matters what you're doing on these ingredients. But I see 3 very strong ingredients, but I see they're still sort of disconnected. Psychology, I see games, I see floorball, but I don't see them coming yet in such a way, right? It's almost like you're now 40, 39, 40. Now there's like, we're standing here, and now. And I, give it some time. It will it will not come in a day. But if you put yourself into it, I think for like a month or something, and try to, with this in the back of your mind, find your moments, find your achievements, find your experiences, and take the few outs which you feel they go in the direction we want to go. Write them down. Make a story, discuss again with somebody, right? And then I see a huge future in that. I personally, I buy it. I dig it. I'm not a sportsman, but I buy it. I've been doing some classes as well to move, to stretch, whatever, and I realized first I didn't like it, but then I saw it was like a piece of the puzzle. Yeah. For my life to be healthy, and that I'm willing to invest on. Right? Just a game of football on the street. I'm not sure if I'm going to pay much money for it, but if this is my health, right? Yeah. Oh my God! I don't mind paying serious money for it because this is my identity.
Yeah, and I know why I should pay for it.
Exactly.
Great.
So maybe. Thank you, Artem, for your time.
Thank you.
I enjoyed it.